scariest stories are whispered, not told.
I downloaded the sleep app because I couldn't stop waking up at 3 a.m. Not in a dramatic horror movie kind of way. I didn't wake up screaming or drenched in sweat. I would just wake, blink, lie there, alert and still, staring into the dark, while the world outside my window stayed dead silent. No dogs barking, no wind, just the kind of silence that hums in your ears. I thought maybe I was snoring, or maybe my apartment was too warm. So I tried opening a window, bought a white noise machine, switched to decaf after 3 p.m. Nothing helped. Then I found the app. It was one of those generic, free sleep recorders. Understand your sleep cycles, it said. Track snoring, talking, restlessness. 5 stars. Thousands of downloads. I figured I'd try it. What was there to lose? Night 1. Nothing weird. Just me shifting under the covers. One muffled cough around 2 a.m. The app gave me a sleep score of 88. Night 2, similar. The usual tossing and turning. Night 3, though. That's when things started getting strange. I woke up that morning feeling off. Not scared, not exhausted, just uneasy. Like I'd had a dream I couldn't remember, but that left something behind. When I opened the app, I saw 5 recordings. I put in my earbuds and played the first one. It was nothing. Me rolling over. A low groan, maybe. But the third one made my stomach drop. Timestamp 3:04 a.m. The clip was only 12 seconds long. It started with my own soft breathing. Then a voice, not mine. It whispered, "Are you awake yet?" That was it. I replayed it over and over. It didn't sound like a dream mumble or some half-conscious mutter. The voice was clear, close to the mic, like someone had leaned down next to my phone on the nightstand. And it definitely wasn't my voice. I told myself it had to be an audio glitch. Maybe the app picked up something from outside. Someone in the hallway, maybe. But I live alone. My apartment's on the top floor. There's no hallway traffic at 3 a.m. Still, I shrugged it off. Didn't delete the app, though. I don't know why. Maybe curiosity, maybe stupidity. That night, I left the light on in the hallway. Just a little glow under the door, enough to make the darkness seem less heavy. I even pushed the phone further away from the bed. The next morning, I had 2 recordings. The second one, again at 3:04 a.m., was 19 seconds long. It began with silence, then the sound of my blanket shifting, and then very softly, "You moved." The voice was male, raspy, not old but not young either, and it sounded amused. I stopped using the app for a week. I deleted the recordings, turned off my phone at night, and still, I kept waking up at 3:04, like something tugged me out of sleep by the back of the neck. Then things started moving in the apartment. Nothing dramatic. A picture frame angled wrong. The remote control on the couch instead of the coffee table. Little things. Things I told myself I probably moved and forgot. Until I found the closet door open. It's a sliding door. Heavy. Old. It sticks in the frame, and you have to yank it a little to open it. I never leave it open, but one morning it was gaping. Not just cracked, wide open. And inside was my coat, the one I hadn't worn in weeks, its pockets turned inside out. That night, I re-downloaded the app. This time I hid the phone under my bed. Next morning, 4 recordings. The last one was almost a full minute. It started with faint breathing, mine, maybe. Then the creak of the floorboards, then footsteps, slow, steady. From the hallway toward my room. Then a whisper, "I see you." But it wasn't coming from the hall. The voice was close, right next to the mic, right under my bed. I threw up in the bathroom. Spent an hour staring at my reflection, trying to find signs I was cracking up. I don't drink, don't do drugs, no history of sleepwalking. I even asked my downstairs neighbor if she'd heard anything weird. She said no, just that she thought I was having guests over lately because she heard footsteps at night. Guests? Yeah, I mean, I hear 2 sets of footsteps, one heavier than yours. Just figured you had company. I hadn't had anyone over in months. The next few nights I didn't sleep, just lay there with the lights on, staring at the ceiling. I didn't even bother recording anything. What was the point? But one night I dozed off, just for a bit. When I woke up, my phone was on my chest, unlocked, the app open. One new recording, me whispering, "I see you." It was my voice this time. Except, I don't remember saying it. I sent the files to a friend who works in sound design. Told him I was working on a horror podcast and needed help analyzing the audio. He listened and called me the next day. Said there were things in the background I hadn't noticed. Like what? Breathing, a lot of it, but not human. What does that mean? He paused. I don't know. It's like layered, like it's being breathed in and out at the same time, and they're static. Like a signal trying to break through. I asked if it could be interference. He said maybe, but he didn't sound convinced. I tried sleeping at a friend's place, left the apartment for a weekend. Thought maybe it was the space. Maybe I was projecting. The first night there, I slept fine. No recordings, no waking up at 3:04. Second night, it happened again. Not the recordings, the dream. I was standing in my bedroom, or something like it. The furniture was wrong, slightly off. The walls were the same, but darker. Everything was grayscale, like a photo left in the sun too long. There was someone in the bed, me. I was watching myself sleep. Then I saw movement. From the closet, a figure, black, no face, just a void wearing the shape of a man. It crawled out, slow, deliberate. It climbed into bed next to me and whispered, "I told you I see you." I woke up screaming. I deleted the app, again, smashed the phone, got a new one, changed numbers. I even moved apartments a month later. New place, new neighborhood, high floor, security cams. I felt safe again, until last night. I was brushing my teeth when I noticed my phone had a notification, one I didn't recognize, recording saved, from an app I never installed. I opened it. There was one audio file, timestamp 3:04 a.m. I hit play, breathing. Then, there you are. And in the background, a faint echo of my own voice, whispering the same thing, "There you are," over and over, like it had never stopped. I remember the funeral like it just happened yesterday. The rain hadn't stopped since morning, and the mud swallowed every footstep like the earth itself wanted to keep my brother. James wasn't the kind of person who made waves. He was quiet, a little withdrawn, but kind, always kind. He died suddenly. Aneurysm, they said. One of those freak things. One moment he was texting me a dumb meme, and the next, I was identifying his body at St. Luke's. We buried him last October. A small service, mostly family, closed casket. I couldn't bring myself to look, even though they said he looked peaceful. Something about it felt wrong, final in a way I hadn't prepared for. And yet, I did everything I was supposed to do. Helped Mom with the estate, sorted through his apartment, canceled his phone plan. Or at least I thought I had. Because last night, at 3:04 a.m., I got a voicemail from James's number. I didn't notice at first. The phone was on silent, flipped screen down on my nightstand. When I rolled over in the morning and saw the notification, I assumed it was spam, something left over in the carrier's system. But when I tapped into my voicemail, my stomach dropped. Timestamps 3:04 a.m. Caller ID, James. No number, just the name. I played it. At first, it was static, faint, like a bad signal. I thought it might have been pocket noise, though that didn't make sense for a dead man. Then under the crackle, I heard breathing, slow, shallow, like someone trying not to be heard. And then a whisper, "You didn't bury me." That's it. No name, no explanation, just those words. The line went dead after that. I dropped the phone. It bounced off the carpet and hit the nightstand, and for a moment, I just stared at it like it might start levitating. Every logical part of my brain was screaming, scam, glitch, hallucination, but deep in my gut, in that primal place where logic doesn't matter, I knew the voice was James's, only it wasn't. I called the carrier, told them I was getting spoofed by a deactivated number. They confirmed. The number had been shut down months ago. No reactivation, no forwarding. I asked if it was possible someone reused the number. They said it wasn't policy. Not that soon. Next, I checked my call log. It wasn't there. Just the voicemail notification. No incoming call at 3:04 a.m. Not even a missed one. I started thinking maybe someone had access to his old voicemail archive or something. Maybe someone hacked it. Except I had his phone. I'd turned it in myself. I watched the guy at the store smash it before tossing it into the bin. I told myself it was a prank. That was the only explanation that didn't involve ghosts, but it kept happening. 3 nights later, I got another message. This time it was longer. Cold. Can't move. I hear them walking above. Same static, same slow breathing. Only now there were sounds in the background. Shuffling, like dirt being moved. Something wet, something wrong. I didn't sleep that night. I tried rationalizing it all. Thought about calling a friend in IT, maybe tracing the signal. But what would I say? "Hey man, can you check if my dead brother's ghost left me a voicemail?" Instead, I dug up his old laptop, the one I couldn't bring myself to wipe. It had sat in my closet since the funeral, wrapped in a hoodie, like it might get cold. I booted it up, expecting nothing. But the moment the desktop loaded, I saw it. A folder on the desktop. Do not open. I'd never seen it before. Timestamp. Created 2 days ago. I clicked. Inside were 3 audio files, all titled with timestamps, matching the voicemails I'd received. I played the first one. It was the same message. You didn't bury me. Same voice, same breathing. But this time I could hear something new. Metal scraping, like a shovel on stone. I checked the second file, then the third. The sounds were getting clearer, more urgent, heavier breathing. Footsteps. The third one ended with a scream. Distant, muffled, like someone screaming through dirt. I lost track of time after that. Sat in the dark, looping those files, comparing them to the voicemails. They were identical, which meant what? Someone had uploaded them remotely. From where? From what? The next morning I drove to the cemetery. It was cold, gray, the kind of overcast that makes the world feel thinner, like the sky's holding its breath. I found James's plot. Same headstone, same fresh flowers Mom replaced every week. Everything looked normal until I noticed the dirt. It was disturbed, not by animals too neat for that. It looked like someone had unburied it, or tried to. There were scrape marks near the headstone, faint, but there. I knelt down and ran my fingers through the soil. It was soft, too soft for a grave that had settled for nearly a year. I called the groundskeeper, asked if they'd done any maintenance or restorations. He said no, said he hadn't touched that section in months. I asked to see the security footage. They didn't have any. That night, I got another voicemail. This one didn't even try to hide it. "Help me. They won't let me out." And then, "You put me here." You. It wasn't James's voice anymore. Not really. It had this distortion to it, like something was wearing his voice like a mask. I couldn't take it. I called my mom, asked her if she'd ever noticed anything strange after James died. Long pause. Then she said, "Sometimes I hear him walking in the attic." She said it so casually. I thought she was joking. but she wasn't. She said she thought it was just her grief, that sometimes she'd find his bedroom door open when she was sure she'd closed it, that sometimes her phone would ring once, then stop, always at 3:04 a.m. I started sleeping with the lights on, kept the TV running in the background, but it didn't help because the messages kept coming, sometimes just breathing, sometimes screaming. Once a lullaby we both knew from childhood. Our mom used to hum it when we were sick, only it was warped, like someone trying to remember the tune but failing. I even went to a priest. I didn't know what I expected. Maybe a blessing, maybe a "you're not crazy." He listened, nodded politely, and then told me to pray. That was it. Just pray. I went home and deleted the voicemails. All of them. Then I got one last message. No static, no breathing. Just this: I'm in the walls now. I looked up, and for the first time, I heard it too, scratching, right behind my bedroom wall. I left that night, drove 3 states over, got a hotel under a fake name, bought a new phone, new number, didn't tell anyone where I went. I thought that would end it, but last night, at 3:04 a.m., the hotel room phone rang. One ring, then silence, and when I picked up the receiver, all I heard was breathing. Then, "You can't run from blood." Click. And this time it wasn't James, it was me.